Hey guys, you with me, Kevin, and today we're here to review the Cressi T10 Master air system that we've got available on our site. First thing we notice is that it comes in this really awesome Cressi regulator bag or carry box. It's got some embossed Cressi branding on the side and a really great handy carry handle, which is cool. Let's open it up to see what's going on inside. So as we open it up, that reveals our regulator. On the inside here is a whole bunch of warranty and guarantee information, but this is quite a good little area to keep your logbooks and wallets and anything else that you want to keep a value when you're out on a dive. We'll move that guy out the way. As far as the regulator is concerned, this is one of Cressi's top of the range air systems. It is a super high performing air system. So let's start with the first stage and work our way down. The T10 first stage is a balanced first stage, meaning that it'll give you air no matter what the depth and no matter how much air is in your cylinder. It will maximize the flow rate to the diver. It is environmentally sealed at the top, so it means that this is suitable for cold water diving. So if you were diving in close to zero, sub-zero temperatures, you could still breathe this while you're underwater in those cold environments. It's not going to freeze up and seize. The unit itself is what they refer to as Teflon coated at the top, and at the side here gives it this sort of chromy Teflon-y type look, which is quite scratch resistant. There is a number of ports on the side here. You have 2 high pressure ports and 1, 2, 3, 4 low pressure ports, so you could connect an analog gauge as well as a transmitter. You've got enough for your octo as well as your primary rig, as well as a power inflator hose and a dry suit hose as well if you wanted to. It's got a DIN fitting. This particular model has a DIN fitting air system. Some of the quality that has gone into the Cressi gear is quite obvious in the fact that the DIN fitting screw here is made of a milled aluminium. A lot of the other Scuba regulators come with a plastic DIN fitting, and I really don't like that. It feels quite cheap, especially when you're paying this amount of money for a regulator. I really like the fact that they've given some thought to the fact that this needs to be a milled steel aluminium, so it gives it a really solid feel when you're using it. On the inside, you can see there is the O-ring that sits in there for you to pinch it up. Just a top tip from me as far as these regulators are concerned: if you purchase them from us, you need to keep in mind that quite often when we courier them out to you, they've now flown in planes and traveled in courier trucks, and then you grab it and then jump in your car and drive down to the beach to go for your dive. Some of the bits and pieces can vibrate loose in here. So the first time you plug your air system in, if you screw it into your cylinder and turn it on and you hear a hissing noise coming from the first stage, that does sometimes mean that this DIN fitting has just vibrated loose. Super easy to take an Allen key, stick it in, nip it closed again, and that's going to stop the leaking, and you've got no worries at all. As far as the hose is concerned, it is standard Cressi's standard rubber hose. You see, Cressi have opted to stay away from the braided hoses at this stage. They're sticking with the traditional rubber hose. This is quite good in the fact that you can see how this hose ages. If there's any cracking or damage done to the hose, you know it's time to replace it. Onto the second stage. This is their master second stage. This is a balanced second stage as well, meaning that there's a number of gears on the inside which will increase the flow rate of air as you need it. It has a cold valve or a cold protection valve on the inside, so if you're diving in cold water, it insulates the air as it comes through the valve to give you air, to make sure you don't get that super cold air when you do go diving in those very cold environments. It's got a very big diaphragm across the front here, so that means you can purge it anywhere, and it'll purge really easily. So if you are diving in cold water and you've got dry suit gloves on, it's very easy just to find anywhere on here to purge it. It's not like some of the other air systems. We've got a small purge. It's got a very large purge valve, which makes it very easy for you to clear. It has a little dial on the side here, and this allows you to dial up or dial down the flow rates. So if you're diving and you feel that you're not getting enough air, you're feeling a bit air starved, you would open it up and that'll give you a lot of airflow. If you find that you're almost hyperventilating when you're underwater because it's overcompensating and giving you too much air, it feels like it's spraying in, you can dial it down, and that'll reduce the air and calm the diver down when they're out on the dive. Purge valve is, or the The exhaust T or valve is standard size. It's not oversized like some of the other regulators. I've dived on this unit and I haven't noticed any different compared to any of the other regulators. And you have your standard Cressi Comfy Bite Ergonomic Mouthpiece at the top. And it has a dive and pre-dive setting. So the dive and pre-dive is literally just a little bit of plastic or polymer on the inside that just diverts the flow of air, and that stops the regulator from free flowing. So before a dive, you'd set it into pre-dive. You can roll off the back of the boat. You know, it's not going to free flow straight in your face. And just as you start to descend, you would switch it over into your dive section, which would allow the air to flow through unimpeded, so it would give you a more comfortable breathe when you're underwater. However, I find it very difficult to tell the difference when I've got dive and pre-dive on. Quite often I've done several dives with it being in the pre-dive and haven't noticed. It's only when it free flows that I notice that it's in dive or pre-dive, but that's just my personal note on my experience with the unit itself. So overall, I think this is a really, really good air system from Cressi. It's one of their top of the range, more expensive ones. It breathes super easy. It is rated up to 250 bar. As a note, Cressi do not rate their gear to 300 bar use. They're only doing the standard 200 to 250 bar max, but that is ideal for any recreational scuba diver. This is also nitrox compatible up to mixes of 40%. So for a recreational scuba diver that takes their diving seriously and they're looking for a really nice, good quality unit, this is the ideal air system for you, especially if it's paired with a Cressi Octo and Cressi gauges and Cressi BCD. That makes a really, really stylish set of scuba gear to go diving with. So there's that review. It is the Cressi T10 first stage with the Master second stage, balance first stage and balance second stage, making it a completely balanced system which will give you airflow at a really good rate no matter what the depth and no matter how much air you've got left in your cylinder. Keeping in mind, it also comes with this really funky Cressi carry bag box, so you can assemble the whole air system and then pop it in there and that'll protect it. So there's that review. If you guys are enjoying these product reviews, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go over there and click subscribe, and we'll keep you up to date with all the funky reviews that we're doing on an ongoing basis. We've also got a number of social streams. Just give scuba.co.za a search on the Facebooks and Instagrams and all the new things that are coming out, because we're posting fun stuff there all the time about our adventures and the things that we do. So that's it from me, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the water really soon.